the most successful people in my life that I look up to, they all have the same thing in common, that they've all taken a chance at some point when they knew there was a big risk for failure, but they went for it anyways, and the payoff was good.
Leap of faith.
Leap of faith.
Guts.
I do that all the time, and I always fall.
You just got to go for it at some point.
Thank you for listening to the Farm4Fun podcast, a happy hour spinoff of the Farm4Profit podcast. These episodes are hosted by Tanner Winteroff, the Iowa Bankerman, David Whitaker, the Iowa Land Guy, and a random farmer named Corey. Each episode, they plan to focus on a brewery or distillery while talking about all current events and everything else. Crack a beer, mix a drink, and join on the fun. Remember, if you aren't farming for fun, we know you probably like raisins in your cookies.
Welcome back to another Farm for Fun episode. This is Tanner Winterhoff, the banker in Central Iowa.
This is Corey Hillebo, the farmer.
And this is David Whitaker, the auctioneer and real estate agent.
I think if there's ever been a Farm for Fun show that we've ever been ready for, I can't think that I've ever been more ready for a beer, more ready for a good time, and a good chat.
And just not very ready overall on everything else.
That's why I left it out. Lack of preparation, getting everything set up. We are here, but we are good to go. What do you think, Dave?
I think so. We got some great guests in the studio. We have every chord, I think, that we have imaginable on the table. Corey's ready to go with a great opening, and it's great weather outside, too.
It is fantastic weather. This is something, too, listeners, we need to thank you. There are a lot of fantastic things on the horizon for the Farm for Profit and Farm for Fun podcast. I almost can't wait, but I know I have to. But it'll be some really great material. We've got fantastic content planned. We got a lot of really cool things, and we couldn't have done it without you. That's certainly something that goes beyond saying, and I hope you understand the sincerity of this comment. Also, we really appreciate you leaving reviews, you liking this, you sharing it with your family and friends, because that's the only way we know our audience has grown. So thank you sincerely from the bottom of our hearts for doing that. A couple of examples of those reviews, Corey, that we had.
Yeah. A week or two ago, I think it was Vance Crow on Twitter just came out and said, I haven't listened to you guys, but I listened this morning, and it sounds great. Keep your topics moving. Sounds natural. It's like hanging out with friends that are curious. So that's cool. Vance Crow's a cool dude.
You guys reached out to somebody on Twitter. I saw, no, not Twitter, TikTok. Guy that swears a lot.
Oh, he's coming on the podcast.
Is he coming on the podcast?
That'll be
After
fun.
harvest.
He is. He's an agriculture guy, but he swears a lot. I'll give you that.
We're gonna have
to.
I don't know if Tanner has that many bleep buttons.
We might have to. We might have to get a bleep button in here before we.
We might have to just put a disclaimer at the front of that one.
But he had
this
listened to the
podcast.
And so he's now he's listening to it now just because of social media. So keep sharing.
No, that's really cool. Another one, too, we got was I really enjoy the variety here. The information is also enlightening. So thank you. Keep those coming. It means an awful lot to us. We really appreciate that. But you don't want to hear us talk about that kind of stuff. You're here to let us have some fun. So what do you think, Corey? Should we move right into our guest?
Let's get this party started. R.I.P. Eddie Van Halen. This week on the Farm for Fun podcast, we have boys from a band down by Deep River. It's actually a small stream. This band has a combined 63 years of musical talent. These boys know how to throw a party and have opened for shows for the likes of John Michael Montgomery, Low Cash, Sonny Sweeney, Brett Young, and more. They are the honky-tonkin', beer-drinking, hell-raising band called Tyler, Richton, and the High Bank Boys. Welcome to the show. And we have just two of them, Ed and Tyler.
And Tyler. All right. Woohoo.
Ed the fiddle player.
Ed's the fiddle.
That is correct.
What is up, guys?
We're just here to hang and have some fun and play some music for y'all.
And have you ever done a podcast before?
Never before.
Never before.
Not one as cool as this.
Not one as cool as this.
I'm going to drink beer and be on a podcast all at the same time and play music.
Well, we got to say Tyler is doing Sober October, I believe it's called. So
So
that
don't
sucks.
believe
Wah, wah,
anything.
wah.
Don't believe anything he says about the beer tasting.
that's good though. You got a designated driver.
Yeah, for Ed, he's cracking into the whiskey already, so he doesn't have to worry about his ride home.
After all the days of football when I had to be the sober one in the group, now Tyler finally knows the pain.
There you go.
So I gave a little bit of background, but that was just a 50,000 foot overview. Give us a little bit about yourselves and the band.
Yeah, my name is Tyler Richton. Richton is actually my middle name, comes from my two grandfathers, Richard and Merton. That's where that comes from. We started a band back in 2015. Ed wasn't an original member, but we kind of scouted him out. He was playing some classical tunes, a little Beethoven, a little Bach, at a senior recital. Me and the bass player went over to check him out. We recruited him, and he's been with us ever since 2016. And we've been just out on the road, dogging it, doing what we can to stay busy. So.
Grew up in Deep River,
I grew up in Deep River, yep, and I live in Brooklyn, Iowa currently, but just bought a house over back by Deep River now, and we'll be moving back there soon. So.
Gotcha. Ed, what's your background?
Yeah, so I am Ed Henning. I'm from the metropolis of Hartwick, Iowa. Anyone that's been there will know that that's a little bit of an overstatement. But grew up on a family farm there. We have 90 head of cows, about 600 acres of row crop, as well as hay ground and some pasture on top of that. So grew up in farming, and I'm actually a listener of the Farm4Profit podcast. So it is an honor to be with the Iowa Bankerman and the Iowa Land Guy and the Random Farmer. So
All right.
quite a time, quite an honor here.
That's awesome because we did not know that coming in. So that's a small world.
Yes. So I currently work at Vermeer Corporation. I'm a product specialist there. I actually don't work on the ag side. I work with tree care rental landscape, so your brush chippers, stump cutters, mini skid steers, articulating loaders now. So that's what I do for my full-time job, and then I get to get paid for doing some fun stuff on the weekends here with the band.
Barely.
So classically trained in Iowa City. Started when I was 4.5, and luckily these guys picked me up along the way and got me playing some good old tunes. So
That's
how
what
I got with them.
I've been biting my tongue because when Tyler said how he found you playing Beethoven and I don't remember what else you said, but I don't think that's what we're going to hear today.
No.
And I kind of want to hear the story. How did you hear about him? And what was it like going on a scouting trip to a high school concert?
Yeah. We were just a 3-piece band. When I say I suck at playing guitar, like I do not play. So you hear solos like Eddie Van Halen. Okay. R.I.P. He rips some major solos and stuff. I can't do that. I can't do stuff like that. So we needed something to fill the empty space when we were playing. So you go out and you search for lead players. Well, we couldn't find a guitar player around, couldn't find a steel guitar player or anything like that. So we're searching for a fiddle player. Well, pops up on Facebook, a kid our age from just down the road, playing some classical music at a recital. And I saw his mom had shared an event, his senior recital coming up. So I talked to the bass players, like, guys, you want to just go grab Buffalo Wild Wings and go listen to this guy and just see what he's got to offer and talk to him, see if he'd even be interested. And it's like, yeah, let's go do it. So that's kind of how that came to fruition.
Just kind of seemed odd, hearing
it's
it for the
very
first time. But I'm not in the music world. I mean, I guess I could do that if I heard about a really good banker somewhere and then I went to their loan closing. And
I'm interested in, because the fiddle is not something, it's not a recorder, it's not a saxophone, it's not a trumpet like that you have in high school band. You said you started when you were 4?
Yep, 4.5.
4.5. So, I mean, did you want to do that? Is that something your parents wanted you to do? How's that work?
So the story that my mother would tell is that ever since I was old enough to put a stick on my shoulder, then that's how I got started. She knew she had to get me in violin lessons. So I don't remember, so I cannot confirm or deny that story. I do know that she played a very large part in getting me into music. So we have her to thank for getting me started on lessons there, whether it was my choice or her idea. So
yeah. That's pretty cool. The only place I've ever seen a violin lesson, I think it was like on the east side of Des Moines in some sketchy house. So when you drive by down there, so I I never really wanted to pick it up too bad, but that's awesome. I've never been.
You
around
don't
something.
just play the fiddle; you play the mandolin and keyboard as well, correct?
Yep, among a few. So I took lessons from Purcell School of Music in Iowa City, I should probably say. So I took violin lessons to start, and then I started on piano lessons shortly after that, and started viola for a while. Actually got to go some cool places playing viola, playing in an orchestra and traveling around. The mandolin is also very closely related to the violin, so then that's how I picked that up along the way as well. And then some other stuff that I added for fun.
And may I just say, long shot, God bless Beth Ann, because I swore when we went to scout him out, that's his mom. When we went to scout him out, I was like, there's just no way this lady has paid for violin lessons, classically trained for however many years of his life. She's not going to let him play in bars until the wee hours of the morning playing Hank Jr. There's just no way. It's not going to happen. And she loves it. She comes to almost every show and she loves it. So,
did you grow up liking country music, knowing that's what you wanted to do, or?
Yeah, so I knew that I had a connection to fiddle playing or country music at least from an early start. That's kind of my dad's influence on the whole deal. I guess he's not a very musical guy, but he has very good taste in music. So growing up, riding along, we don't have buddy seats in our tractors, but sitting on the ledge in the top of the tractor in the combine, the radio was always playing something along those lines and digging out his old records and stuff. So I was doing fiddle playing from a very early age, just from the point where I could choose that on the side I wanted to mess around playing fiddle. So that's how I kind of got started in the genre. And it was a very good opportunity to get to actually play in a band that we get to do some cool things and go cool places too.
So Tyler, you're the lead. How'd you get started?
So I started playing music back about same age as Ed. Mom got me involved with piano lessons as a grandma. Then I was in a two-piece punk rock band in junior high. I played drums, and we were just terrible.
Little Green Day?
A lot of Green Day. A lot of Green Day. We played this song called Teenagers. I can't even remember who it was by, but yeah, bless the people who listened to that too and supported us through that.
We need to dig some of that up.
If you dig deep enough, can confirm, if you dig deep enough on Facebook, you will find Drum and Strum.
It's called Drum and Strum. Yeah.
Drum and Strum.
But that's how I got started.
I liked a little punk rock back in the day.
You wouldn't like this.
That's funny.
How's farming, Corey?
We got done with soybeans today.
Yeah.
So I'm celebrating currently while Dad and brother are doing the hard part of blowing off the combine and switching her over. And we got a bearing out on an auger, and we kind of just been limping along, and now it's time to fix stuff and get ready for corn.
You're ready to pound at it.
But beans went smooth. We've had just fantastic weather, better yields than we thought we could have, and now we have to go have fun with flat corn.
Yeah, flat corn. That's part of it. Thankfully, we've had some really good weather this fall. A lot of guys have been running almost nonstop, kind of sitting there to the point to where we almost could use a rain day just to fix the stuff that we've all been duct taping together and getting to the finish line.
We were running until 11 midnight every night for a while, and finally the other night we just said at 8 o'clock, we got to get home and see people, see the kids,
right,
and just recharge batteries a little bit. And that's probably what we're going to do tonight, and then hit her hard tomorrow.
Well, we better not get any farther in this without recognizing Dole Distributing and thanking them again for their hookup this week.
Thank you, Dole, for the beer and for wrapping my combine.
This week we are featuring Big Grove Brewery. So they distribute for Big Grove Brewery over there, Iowa City, Solon direction. And the very first one that I'm going to pour out here is called the Easy Eddie. It's a fresh and juicy hazy IPA. So I can't wait to get Dave's reaction.
Pour him a big one.
But
Did you see that meme out there that says, hey, 100,000 different breweries, you don't have to make another IPA? I want to save it, screenshot it, send it to you guys. Oh, mercy.
That's
Dave's
funny.
reaction says, yes, you do.
All right. While I pour this out, why don't you gentlemen play us a little something and tickle our ears?
You bet. We're going to do an original tune that Ed wrote not that long ago called Neon Sunset. Ride my trusty steed to a neon sunset. Barstool saddle scene, a heartache or two. The whiskey drowns and the beer flows like a river. The last thing on my mind is losing you. Don Juan tried to warn me back in Sonora. See right past my eyes, a lovesick fool. Beware of a tall, dark senorita. She'll ride away and steal the heart from you. Gonna ride my trusty steed to a neon sunset. Barstool saddle scene, a heartache or two. The whiskey drowns and the beer flows like a river. The last thing on my mind is losing you. Cowboy's boots ain't never left IA. No, I don't know Espanol. But tequila takes my mind back to the shores of old Mexico. Gonna ride my trusty steed to the neon sunset. Barstool saddle scene, a heartache or two. For the whiskey drowns and the beer flows like a river. The last thing on my mind is losing you. The last thing on my mind is losing you.
Woo! That's country right there.
You wrote that?
I did.
That came out of you?
It wouldn't look like it, I know.
You'd never think that. So, do you guys write most of your own stuff?
God bless Beth Ann, right?
Yeah, God bless Beth Ann. Yeah, we write a decent amount. We need to get back into it, but yeah, the first album we did, which I wrote when I was like 17, I wrote 15 out of the 16 songs on it. Most of them were bad, and just young, stupid kid stuff. And now we've started to write some more mature songs and get the other guys involved in it, and it's gone a lot better. But we don't have anything in the works really, but we're just trying to write some and get some stuff planned up.
Cool. So what do we got for a beer here?
This is the Easy Eddie Hazy IPA from Big Grove.
It smells fruity, like a pineapple-y.
It says a delicious 6% alcohol volume, 12 full ounces, 355 milliliters. And the can is very colorful. I don't know what you call that. Is it a walnut?
It's a hop.
Well,
the bottom's a hop.
Is the top like a walnut?
It kind of looks like an acorn.
An acorn? So an acorn hop?
But maybe that's what hops look. I don't know.
Dark
farm
blue.
hops. I think that's supposed to be a hop.
Is that a whole hop? I don't know.
Dark blue with a teal.
Out of Solon and Iowa City.
And Iowa City.
They keep sending us Eastern Iowa beers. I think they're trying to send us signals.
It's all right. It's not too bad.
Look at that. We got an
It's an
IPA
easy
past
drinking
David.
IPA.
It's
Maybe at the end of this podcast, when it's done, Dave will probably be loving them.
That's
I might be the beer connoisseur after the end of this.
Now I got to delete those 10 pictures I took trying to get a facial reaction.
Some of those IPAs though you get into, I can't say that I'm an IPA connoisseur. So
So Ed, what's your take?
I don't mind it. It's you get that little bit of fruity flavor, and there's enough of a hoppy flavor that it's an IPA, but not so much that someone like me
it's an
that
easy
likes a
drinking
wheat
IPA.
beer.
It is.
It doesn't bother me.
I think a lot of IPAs get to that 7, 8, 9% alcohol, and this is 6%.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy.
I'm almost getting a pineapple note.
Yeah, I taste it.
Might be what you load. Just kidding.
Juicy
No,
tropical flavors of pineapple, mango that are complemented by a round body and soft bitterness. This double dry hopped hazy IPA is infinitely drinkable and relentlessly flavorful.
I can't disagree with that statement. This is
Yeah.
good. That's a winner. I think
Yeah.
that's a winner
I'd drink-
around the room for Big
A lot
Grove.
of times IPAs, it's like, I'll have one or two. I could drink this for several.
They get better as you go. So.
I might have just had a
What
bad
about
day.
Tyler?
so-
Okay, let's not leave Tyler out. How's that water over there?
That is the best water I've ever tasted.
That's good.
See,
That's
it's
good.
weird. Sober October, you called it, right?
Mhm.
And normally there's no shave November, and the three of us haven't been shaving.
I'm doing
for
harvest
all of-
stash.
We're like October, no shave October is what we got going.
We're just gonna let it ride.
I do
I
a
know,
month
fair
of, which maybe not now if this podcast continues, but I usually try to take like January off of drinking.
That's gonna be tough.
It is, but then at the same time, it's like, well, you had Thanksgiving, and then you've had all these Christmas
right.
parties and,
Right.
and Christmas, and you just feel like you've been eating and drinking
Oh, yeah.
your way through the holidays, and it's like it's kind of refreshing, but maybe I'll just taste.
That's right. This isn't drinking. This is tasting.
Yeah, we're just tasting.
100%.
It's classy.
We're not shotgunning IPAs in here.
That's right. Classy with our Dixie cups. I like this.
Oh, shoot.
I was told we would be shotgunning. it.
That's why you decided not to drink.
Yeah. Well, one of the cool things this week that we learned, gentlemen, is that the Farm for Profit podcast, so all of our Farm for Profit shows, all of our Farm for Fun shows have made it on to iHeartRadio.
Woo!
Nice.
Winner.
That I never thought would happen. When we put this thing together, I never imagined it'd be anywhere besides the 2 places that we started. Now we're on 7 different platforms. And again, that's a big thanks to you guys as listeners.
What's the next step? Where are we going next?
I think we're going to try and get on Amazon.
Oh.
Go Prime
We're
Music.
not on Amazon?
Not yet.
What the hell?
Not yet. Got to wait for them to
If
accept.
you got a fire stick, it probably doesn't work.
I listened on iHeart, and I've never listened to a podcast on iHeart, and that was a very enjoyable experience finding it and getting on it, and it kept playing where Spotify like stops afterwards. It kept playing, so I actually listened to another one. It was good.
Boosting those downloads, huh?
Yes. Someone's got to pad them. Someone's got to pad these downloads, or I'm going to get fired.
I wasn't listening to that. I was listening to the debate. Mercy, did you watch it last night?
All right. What,
I
you're
caught
talking
the-
about
I
you're
caught
talking about
the
the
end.
vice president debate.
Yeah.
About the only newsworthy thing about
Well,
that
either
was the
debate.
fly on Mike Pence's head.
Why didn't anybody tell him to swat
Why
that?
didn't the moderator go, please swat that
Come look.
gigantic horsefly off your hair?
Did you
I
see
can
the,
tell if something is in my hair, like a bee's wing or
Yeah.
something. Even I can tell.
Yeah,
How could he
that
not
stuff's
tell
got
that
so
fly
much
was there?
gel in it.
That's just public speaking 101.
Someone said that fly came down with COVID.
Oh, it did it? Did you see? I saw a bunch of memes today on social media that Ocean Spray. They got the Ocean Spray where they're chugging it. So the like CEO of Ocean Spray is like, all right, I'll get on this bandwagon. And so he did it too. And it kind of went viral. Well, there was one that had the fly on Mike Pence's head chugging Ocean Spray. I was like, that's the best one of the day right here.
I've got a good one queued up for that. I just don't know how to do it yet.
I was trying to figure that. I've been seeing it all over TikTok. There's guys that run golf courses putting ocean spray in the ball washers,
Yeah.
and then Trump just what a great publicity campaign that they fell into. Maybe it was planned. Maybe they just fell into it. I don't know.
I think they just felt. I think somebody did it once, and it went kind of viral, and so the CEO said, "You know what? I'll participate.
Right.
This participation advertising."
The main guy that started that first video, he made another video, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, and said thanks for the new wheels, Ocean Spray.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you guys on TikTok?
I have not.
I don't have an account, but I unfortunately have the app so the Chinese can spy on me. I do peruse Do peruse the TikTok.
It is
There's
dangerous, and I've been on it a lot sitting in the semi for harvest. It's kind of taken over my life. I need to probably cut it back a little bit.
I was telling my wife when you were talking about debates, we watched that one. We also watched the presidential debate.
Yeah.
And I was telling her about halfway through, I said, wouldn't it just be nuts? Wouldn't it just blow people's minds if we came back after a commercial break and all of a sudden they had pads of paper that they took notes on and nobody interrupted each other and we gave rebuttals? You know, I don't care about the rebuttals. I don't care about defending a position. But wouldn't that have just been nuts if all of a sudden they just would have stopped interrupting each other?
Yeah, that was terrible. Trump was the worst on interruption, but then Biden came back throwing punches at him.
I think
and
he should have just
name-calling.
started like this. This is if my take on it. He should have just opened up and say, welcome my constituency. Here's what's going to happen. If I hear a lie, I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah.
And then he would have just cleared his name of everything and just interrupt the whole day.
Well, I'm trying to find it. So obviously now I think the latest headline is that Trump has withdrawn from the next one. They
Yep.
were going to do it
They're going to do it
remotely.
virtually.
Yep. But even before then, they thought about having Joe Rogan, who's a fantastic podcast host, do the moderating. And I thought that's what we need. We almost needed. I was throwing out The Rock, just people that you don't mess with, to sit there and say, "No, shut up." The other guy's talking.
Maybe that's what we need in politics. Trump was kind of like the anti-politic,
Right.
Coming in. He was kind of, in a way, going against the Republican and the Democratic Party and the establishment. But then, we need some new age Joe Rogan moderating, like, hey, shut the F up.
Right. Let's listen to what he has to say.
And then
want
you get
him.
2 minutes to come back and tell him to shut
Right.
the F up.
I think
You
we just
want
need a
him.
mute button. Just your 2 minutes are up, ding.
I was
2 minutes
excited.
are up, ding. 2
I was
minutes are up,
excited
ding.
for the virtual because if it was virtual, you could put them on mute.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live had a good skit.
Teachers are doing it with their students. I mean, they just mute it all day long.
I saw someone say that Joe Rogan would have been good for the debate because you needed somebody that had UFC fight experience.
Oh, yeah.
Separate.
All right.
That's funny.
But then he got COVID.
That's the last thing
Was
we'll
that where
say.
he got it?
The last thing we'll
Trump?
say about
No.
politics is that Trump got coronavirus.
Right.
Obviously, a lot of people in the White House have now gotten it, or at least quarantined. I don't think he got it from the debate, Dave. But another lineup of memes that just have kept coming. I saw the headline, they released me. They'd never seen anybody kill it as fast as he had. And when they drew his blood to get his DNA, there was not DNA. There was USA, and it was USA that beat the coronavirus.
I saw one. Even COVID picked Trump over Biden. That was pretty good.
All right. Nobody wants to hear us talk about politics.
That's pretty fun, though.
It is fun.
I'm staring here looking at my phone, and I want to know if there's anybody out there that knows what a dongle is.
I know what a dongle is.
Well, I know you know what a dongle is because
Oh.
you told me what the dongle
Oh,
was.
does anybody else know what a dongle is?
Oh, yeah. Daily part of my life.
Well, you guys are young
Like-
people. Young people know. You guys
Several times a day, you got to drain it, or
Yeah.
Well, we're old enough to have the old headphones and old connections, but then hip enough to be new with technology where we have a new phone that doesn't have,
All right, so
a
explain
3
to the
millimeter
listeners.
plug.
So if somebody said, "Pass me the aux," you'd know what I'm saying.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right,
But
that
Listeners,
makes sense.
describe to the
Well,
listeners
I don't
what's a dongle.
so a dongle is one type of connection. It's basically a little cord that goes between one type of connector to convert it to another. So like, let's say that you have an older set of headphones that still has a 3 millimeter jack or like an aux cord. And you need to go to your fancy iPhone 11 that only has your lightning connector. Then you use your dongle to go from one to the other.
Okay, now who the hell named it a dongle?
Is it dongles around? I don't know. Remember probably 7 or 10 years ago when we had a different adapter for each phone? I mean, micro USB, the
least we're
regular
like
USB. It's
3 or
we're
something.
getting down there, but can we run on the platform of universal plugins
Skid loaders
for
finally did it.
everything?
That's true. Skid
I
loaders did
mean,
it.
finally, we had Case and Mustang and everything, and Bobcat, and they all kind of went to a universal, even flat face connectors. And then, of course, on farm equipment, we got we still have John Deere hookups and hydraulic wise,
Annoying.
but
You got to be careful about what you wish for because just like that, someday everybody's going to have a podcast.
oh yeah,
Well, everybody already does have a podcast.
Everyone does have a podcast. Let me get down and deep and bend your ear here. Let me get inside your eardrum a little bit.
This is way
Caress
over.
your-
This is way over dramatic.
Your ear follicles.
We're gonna need a
And
drink
I'm going to
before this
massage
one.
your eardrums.
okay, I'm ready.
I'm sick and tired of everyone having a podcast. Farm for Profit even.
You realize
You guys have
we're on a
Oh,
podcast.
shit. Yeah, we are on a podcast. But no, okay, disclaimer, I do not want to take away people's creativity and that kind of stuff. But every company is coming out with their own podcast. I do not want to go listen to a podcast about fertilizer. How about instead of coming out with a podcast because you have all these extra marketing dollars for your company and people sitting around at home social distancing, take that money and sponsor local podcasts, private guys, Sharky, us,
Vance,
Jared McDaniel.
Tim.
Yeah. I would rather go and listen to a place that I'm already listening to, and you guys have an ad on that, and get your views and your info out that way.
It don't even got to be just a commercial. If you have a message
Get on the podcast.
or a series of messages.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. I like the creativity, but every company having a podcast, I mean, come on.
You sent me a snap the other day. The Iowa Pork Producers sent one out. And
I can't rag on them, but I'm an Iowa pork producer. But yeah, everyone's got one.
I just
Everyone's
started
got
a
one.
new one this week for my industry. There's a new auctioneering podcast from our national association. So maybe it's a marketing thing out there now that every person is saying you need this to be
Do you
hip,
think there'll
cool.
be like a day, I don't know, 3 years, 10 years down the road, it'd be like, remember podcasts?
Yes. Remember Laserfish?
What?
Remember Laserfish? Did you guys have Laserfish?
What the hell is that?
I'm like the oldest person in the room, so you guys have no idea. Like prior to CDs or DVDs or Blu-rays or any of that, we went from floppy disk to laser discs. And laser discs, the huge, they're like 45 records, except high tech.
Yeah.
They were way ahead of their time, had way more storage, and then just fell off the face because they were too early. Same with, I mean, even when, Blu-rays came out and then all of a sudden Netflix and, well, you see a Blu-ray DVD very often?
nope.
So what's the next podcast?
I don't know. We're not going to talk about it because once we figure it out, we're going to do it.
Like I said last time, screw you guys.
See, but all the other podcasts don't have beer and don't have music.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
have all of that. But
Everybody's sick of listening to us.
so
Gentlemen, do you know what you're going to play next?
Yeah, we're gonna do you another original tune. We're gonna do all original tunes today, probably, if that's cool.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
This is one that I wrote for our heartbroken bass player back a few years ago. Shout out to Kale.
Is he still heartbroken?
He's always been heartbroken, man.
Well, that
It
poor
comes in
guy.
waves for
He's a
him.
heartbreaker too. He's
You get what you get.
yeah. No, he's a good guy, and I wrote this back in 2018 for him after he went through a tough breakup. So.
Tyler Richton and the High Bank Boys.
Well, it's gonna hurt tomorrow morning, but I don't care. 'Cause tonight this pain's just a little too much to bear. Told me time after time that your heart would always be mine. And it's gonna hurt tomorrow morning, but I just don't care. They say that hindsight, baby, is always 20/20. And the signs that you were leaving me were always plenty. Looking back now, I hang my head in shame. I should have seen you leaving me from a mile away. And it's gonna hurt tomorrow morning, but I just don't care. Well, it's gonna hurt tomorrow morning, but I don't care. It's the strength I'm drinking now is gonna get me there. If I make it home before the dawn, I'll just stay up and watch the rising sun. It's gonna hurt tomorrow morning, but I just don't care. Play it. It's gonna hurt tomorrow morning, but I just don't care. 'Cause tonight this pain's just a little too much to bear. You told me time after time that your heart would always be mine. It's gonna hurt tomorrow morning, but I just don't care. And I'll get over you by drinking hard. Gonna put a lot of strain on my little old heart. And it's gonna hurt me. Yeah, it's gonna hurt me. But I guess you don't care.
Woo!
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Appreciate it.
I just sat here and listened to the lyrics. Just listen to you guys.
Mhm.
I went pee.
What?
I came back and heard the end.
True.
It was great. Great ending.
That was fantastic. Yeah. And that I really like that. That could play a lot of different roles. Doesn't have to just be a heartbreak.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't care. You know it's going to hurt in the morning.
That's true.
Celebration, heartbreak.
Yeah.
Bearing
ain't
out
gonna
on
hurt.
Well
the-
done.
It ain't gonna
bearing
hurt
out on the
tonight. that's for sure.
combines.
I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Not after sober October.
You are tomorrow's problem.
Yes. So with this, you guys write a lot of your music.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite song that you play? Is there, maybe it's different for the both of you. Why don't we start with you, Tyler?
Yeah,
What's your favorite song to play or maybe to sing?
Well, my favorite song, if it has to be one that we wrote,
No, it does not have
it
to be
doesn't
that.
have to be one that we wrote.
Anything.
Obviously,
Or do both.
we do a little Charlie Daniels at the end of every show, and I just
Ooh.
it gets people going. If you go on YouTube, there's a video of us when we opened for Brett Young at Iowa State, my alma mater, in front of 2,000 screaming Cyclones, and we closed out the show with "Devil Went Down to Georgia," and it gives me chills every time I watch it. Still, so it's still my favorite one that we do.
Sweet.
As far as crowd reaction and the most fun we have on stage, I'm going to agree with Devil.
We love it.
We have a lot of fun on stage with Devil. We rock out to it. The crowd's always into it. As far as that goes, definitely my favorite to play. As far as like musically favorite to play, it kind of bounces around. Whatever fits your fancy, I guess. We have a lot of fun with doing The Fireman by George Strait.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've just most recently started adding in a little Orange Blossom special. It's usually an interesting time on stage when we pull that out, but we just have a lot of fun with it. So
you guys aren't playing any WAP.
well, there's actually
There's
a
a
Devil
Garth
Went
Brooks
Down to Georgia. WAP Went Down to Georgia on YouTube. You should look it up sometime.
Yeah.
Definitely not family appropriate because it is the lyrics of WAP, but
That's
if
funny.
you look up Devil WAP Down to Georgia sometime, it is
The internet is too quick. Man. It's
it is an
crazy.
amazing remix. I mean, it's
That's
mind blowing.
That's good.
Toe in the face.
Sounds good.
This is stupid. Why does this happen every time? Like I got spots all over my glasses. I'm wearing this one. Just remember, Big Grove Brewery, Iowa City, Solon area.
Mm-hmm.
That's our brewery feature of the week. I am going to start pouring out the 1939 Amber Ale, and I'm going to wipe it off my glasses.
This one's got a really unique.
It's got a football on it.
yeah.
Yeah, this would be a nice can to pass around too. But the Swifts, partners, Getch, Stanley, Smart, Jimmy Christmas. They got a ton of partners over there. Thank you for hooking us up with all this. This is definitely something we're going to enjoy. Let's see what this one looks like.
Pour it out.
I didn't realize it, but on the bottom of their koozies it says, "Take it easy."
Wow. That's good to live by.
Yeah.
On the plan, what's your guys' favorite place to play? Is it a bar? Is it a show at the state fair? What is it?
I would kind of split this into two categories. You have the places that we play regular, and then our special events.
Yep.
As far as places that we play regularly,
Grand Ole Opry,
my favorite and
church.
working on it. No, I would say that Outlaws is my favorite as far as regular spots. Tyler might agree or
I get
disagree
in
with
trouble
me.
at Outlaws.
Yeah, it's such a good time on stage, though. It is a great time. And
Pretty sure the last time I was there, I was laying on a speaker.
And then, we do special stuff like festivals and county fairs and all that fun stuff. For myself, I would choose the Brett Young concert that Tyler was referring to earlier a couple of years ago. It was actually 2 years ago yesterday that we played that show. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing like standing on stage, finishing up your sound check, and they just open the doors, and there's literally people running in to try to get in the front row of this place. running towards the stage. Yeah.
So who's like, hey, does Brett Young reach out to you guys, or are you guys like, hey, could we open for you?
So how that worked, so I was involved with the Cal's Student Council at Iowa State,
Yep.
and they're the ones who sponsor that concert for Cal's Week every year. So I was like,
Foot in
hey,
the door.
you mind if a little local opener happens here? And we literally played for 20 minutes. They got on, throw your stuff on stage, barely sound check, get off.
Yep.
But we took the opportunity, obviously, and we did it for free because we were just happy to be there. But yeah, that's how it kind of came about. I was in the meetings with people getting actually Brett Young to Iowa State, and I just said, hey, I got a band. We'd love to open up for free if we get the opportunity. We'd really appreciate it. And they're like, yeah, that sounds cool. So
That's cool. What about the other ones? I'm just purely interested in how the music industry works. I have no idea.
It's kind of it's interesting how it works sometimes. It's a 50-50 split, I would say, between you reaching out to people and people reaching out to you. Mm-hmm. Most of the big stuff, like we just played Guthrie's River Ruckus this last summer, the Brett Young ones, those ones you got to reach out. You got to try and get your name out there, make contacts. Yeah. But a lot of stuff, just falls in your lap too, word of mouth. I hope we get a few bookings out of doing this. We seem to get new bookings out of every show that we do, either radio show or just a regular music show too. Like there's 2 or 3 people that'll come up and be like,
shed
hey,
parties?
Yeah, shed party. I mean, we do private parties. We do anything but weddings pretty much. So.
Why no weddings?
So with weddings, people are so specialized with what they want. People are like, hey, play Cotton Eye Joe. I'm like, no, we don't know that one.
Play Cupid Shuffle.
Play Cupid Shuffle.
I get that. Okay, so we hope you get leads out of this too. So how can a person find you?
You can email us to book a show, richtonentertainment@gmail.com, www.tylerrichton.com. It's all on there. Facebook, you look us up.
It'll be in the show notes too.
It'll be in the show notes. We appreciate that. We really appreciate you guys having us out to do this. It's awesome. Any chance we get to get a little more publicity. And also, obviously just hang out and drink beer with you guys.
Yeah. Hey, we get to hang out and listen to your music. So I think it's a two-way street here.
www.tylerrichton.com. That's RICHTON. You find everything about us there.
At Tyler Richton HBB on Twitter.
On Twitter. Yep.
Yeah, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram, both at that handle, Tyler Richton HBB. And then Facebook is just Tyler Richton High Bank Boys.
All right. I cracked a beer.
All right.
Let's give it a taste. Which one is it again, Dave?
So this is Big Grove Brewery again. This is the 1939 Amber Ale. On the front of the can here, it's pretty cool. I like the front of this can because it has a patent on it. Milton Reach patented in 1939, December 5th, patent number 2,182,053. On the back here, it says 80 years ago, Iowa produced one of the greatest teams, and the favorite son was crowned the king of football, hence 1939. The players were so durable and tough that year, they earned the name Iron Men. This copper-hued malt-forward amber is named for the honor of those gridiron legends, the 1939.
It is copper-colored.
amber.
Extremely smooth.
Very smooth.
And the other one that said a delicious. This one says a memorable 5.6 alcohol volume, 12 fluid ounces, 355 milliliters.
Ed?
I'm a fan. I like darker beers. I have to say that it tastes pretty good for being 80 years old. Kept in a
What's your
kept in a.
What's
Okay,
your
just
go-to
kidding, but-
beer? What's your go-to beer? Both of you. When you're
Are we-
having a show.
It's a Big Grove
When
1930.
we're at a show, Coors Banquet if they have it,
Coors Banquet.
for sure.
Yep.
They usually don't have it, so I'll go with Coors Light. My favorite all-time beer is some German beer that I tried over there that I would take over anything, but Coors Banquet is my favorite.
I'm going to get evicted from Iowa for saying this. I'm a Miller Lite guy.
Oh, no, we're not going to kick you out for that.
People are like, that's a sin.
You just aren't going to find it for free very many places.
Miller Lite is not bad if you start on it.
Yeah.
I cannot go from Busch or Coors to Miller.
Yeah. If you want to go there, Tanner, it's my favorite beer is free beer.
Free,
whatever.
free and
Yeah.
cold.
Free beer.
Oh, hey, that's a great
I prefer
answer,
it to be free. and
So
cold.
you like some Big Grove?
This is good. This is not what I was expecting. Another very smooth, very enjoyable beer.
Yeah. I'm having several of these. Not stopping.
Not stopping.
They're good.
So, Dave, you sent me a message. We were talking on the phone. That's the word. we
Yeah,
were talking on the
yeah.
phone. Did you ever get the answer to your question?
I never did. I was asking the
answered
other day. We were you answered it, I guess.
You're
but
not right.
We don't think he's
Oh,
right.
jeez.
Okay, we're going to get a listener to tell us the right
So
answer.
somebody that's listening to this podcast knows. We were driving on the road, and I was going to look at another farm. We were going to Sioux City, Iowa, my wife and I, and there's a combine, there's a combine, there's a combine. There's no gleaner. There's a 9500. There's a X9. We had all kinds.
You saw an X9?
And I thought, mercy, how many combines are in Iowa? So then it made me think, well, if I knew how many farmers in Iowa there were, I might know how many combines. So I called Tanner up. I'm like, hey, we got to find out how many combines are in Iowa. It'd be a great statistic.
Iowa Ag Statistics from the 2019 NAS numbers, so the census. 143,447 Iowa farmers.
Whoa, I was way low.
143,447. 65.8% of Iowa farmers are male. 34.2 are female.
So what's a farmer now? Cattle?
I'm
Hogs?
just reading an image that I Googled.
Oh, mercy.
How many of those guys are getting it custom farmed?
Well,
or they
that's
are
just it.
custom farmed?
Or they just, like you were saying, there's probably, what was your number?
19,138 or something like it was like I just took like every county times like 200 and some.
Oh, that's
all
not a bad
how I
idea.
got that number, but that because I figured, well, there's probably a lot more in some counties,
Yeah.
but then there's some that's probably not. That
Yeah.
many.
And I know a lot of farmers that hire their crops custom harvested. So, I mean, it'd be really curious. If anybody has the number for how many combines are in the state of Iowa.
Then we have some swag for you here
Oh, yeah.
at the studio.
By the way, you guys, okay, you as listeners are awesome. Awesome all the way up to when I want to give something away. There wasn't a single person that responded to our giveaway from the last Farm4Fun show. Not a single person. So I will do better.
Weak.
I have stuff to give away. Big Grove, koozies, hats. There might.
Shirts.
I don't know if there's going to be leftover beer. I don't think there will
There
be.
might not be.
So far, it's all tasting really good, and we're not going to give it away. But maybe some leftover beer.
They did give us a Richardson 112
Yes.
hat. So farmers, as you're out there, look at your hat. I'm curious how many people, new statistic, how many people have a Richardson 112
Can we
hat?
get in contact with
You guys
Richardson
both have
and get
Richardson
them as a
112s. I'm
sponsor?
telling you, Richardson 112 is like the hat of choice for
Free
Iowa
beer.
farmers.
Okay. But I'm not going to beg. I will not beg. But I have free stuff to give away. We have free stuff to give away. So pay attention this week.
We'll mail it to you.
That's what it's like with us, too. We're trying to give away tickets to shows and stuff, and people win it. And they're like, oh, sorry, I can't make it. It's like,
What?
Yeah, people will enter
Why'd you
contests.
call in?
and, oh yeah, great guys. Sorry, I can't go. You can give it to
I mean,
somebody
what
else.
we have is like we're growing fantastically.
Yeah.
Tanner and I and Dave have fantastic interaction on social media on our personal
On a
accounts.
personal page.
And then you get to the Farm for Profit one, and they're like, "Screw you." we don't know. We don't know who that
I
is.
put a poll out on my personal
Never heard of
page, and
her.
I'll have 100 and some responses, and I'll have 7
yeah.
on the Farm for Profit page.
Yeah.
I get it. That's fine. I just want to give this stuff away. It doesn't
It's
need to
good
sit.
stuff. This isn't
Doesn't
like
need to
a
sit in the studio.
paper.
See,
thin
I
to
thought
get it
about
taped there.
I get more people that watch Farmland on my personal than watch it on my professional page. But I don't want to bombard all my people that are personal with all the business.
Right.
I think it's because they know who you are. The page just doesn't feel personal.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't want to overdo it. So, I'd love to post every day, but I don't because I don't want to just like people like, I'm going to unfollow this guy. This is all business. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe less business and a little bit of mullet podcast.
Well, that's what the personal account's for.
Yeah.
That's a tough balance. That's a really tough balance to manage.
Cue me up some Baby Shark.
I don't want to listen to Baby Shark.
And scene.
Why?
All right.
Why are we listening to Baby Shark? Why? I'm sorry.
The fact that he's that good, he can cue it up.
I'm sorry.
The radio this morning had said, I think some inmates down in Oklahoma were tortured for hours on end while they were handcuffed to a wall with Baby Shark on repeat. And the prison guards are getting misdemeanors for it.
Oh, jeez. I tell you
enough
what,
for me.
I would confess. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't do it, I'd confess to it.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' like torture song? Like
What?
if you were handcuffed to a wall for hours or days on end, what song do you not want to hear on repeat?
Actually, the other night, Allie and I, my wife and I were talking about this. We don't know the next, Baby Shark took over last year.
Yeah.
There hasn't been that, at least it hasn't hit our household yet, of the next.
Mine would be
What's the one
takeover
with
song.
the Ella, the girl on Frozen?
Oh.
Frozen.
Do you want to be a
snowman?
Build
Build a snowman.
Yeah.
That was for a while.
or Let It Go.
Let it
Let
go.
it go.
That's true. Frozen period. My household. I got plenty
Mine
of that
would be
going.
this song that never ends.
Oh,
That's like back to like
Never-
1989.
Yeah.
because I was actually I was thinking it was the Barney theme song. I mean,
Yeah.
that back from the child, watched way too many of those shows.
Yeah. You guys?
Anything Florida Georgia line.
I was gonna say I'm going a little bit different direction. Mine would be the song Sam Hunt's song where he samples Webb Pierce.
Yeah.
That just gives me an aneurysm. So
Hard
Okay,
to
so
forget.
what about this? Switching the question just a little bit. When you get requests and you get one, you go, "Oh, not this one again."
Yep.
wagon wheel, Freebird, or
Free
Free
bird.
Willie.
We have a policy that if you request Freebird at our show, you are going to come up front. You will get a wet willy.
Tanner, please request that.
I am going to. Where are we going here? Where's next? Shotgun Betties? No, wait. Outlaws. I'm going to Outlaws on the 24th of October.
We have an excuse to go to Outlaws and not be the old farts
Freebird.
there.
That's right. Outlaws, October 24th. Prairie Meadows, October 30th.
Yep.
I don't think there's an age you're too old. I think you can go.
I don't know.
Because there's separate bars for separate groups. I think anybody should be able to go to any bar.
Like you
Yeah,
can
I
go
feel
to
like
any
a
bar.
creeper when I walk in there.
Outlaws?
Yeah.
Oh, we've seen some older folk than you at Outlaws.
Older folks.
Our
Older
number
folk.
one fan, Marty Block, was has perched up in the balcony, throwing up an American flag for the national anthem. Before,
So they were
you guys
charging-
Will not be out of place.
They were charging cover one night to get in, and this guy who follows us around, he's from Hartwick, and he walks up to the door. He goes, "I'm a Nashville executive here to scout these boys out." He's like,
From
"Can I just
Deca-
go in?"
from
Good
Decca
night.
Records.
From Decca Records.
Who
Decca
is
Records
now out
is
of business.
Out of business for like 30 years. And they let him in. It's in the
It works.
So this is the third time Hartwick's been brought up for you listeners because I had to Google it. I'm staring at the Google Maps. You go east of Ames, Highway 30, past Tama, and then you drop south about 20 miles.
Free
Right.
ad. I bought my cornhead from Hartwig Ag.
Oh, shout out to Kyle Ali.
Yeah, there you go. Free
Mackinac
ad. Get him on the
dealer.
podcast. You owe us money.
Yeah.
If you're listening,
No,
the check is made out to Farm number 4 Profit.
Fun story about Hartwick is if the trucks don't get in from Heartland fast enough, you drive in the morning and they are full. I actually took a wagon in this morning and the guy came out on the scale, came walking out to the scale, and that's always when you go, oh boy, something's going on. And he goes, hey, we're full. You're going to have to go to Victor.
Oh.
Okay.
Victor.
That's Hartwick for you, but no. I think it used to be that the biggest establishment was the bank, and now Hartwick Ag is fired off. So you drive by and see a whole ton of Draper heads. I would say that
Yep.
that's the shining star of Hartwick.
Pretty good-
now.
pretty
Come
good
on,
guys.
Banks. We got to keep
good
this thing rolling.
And you tested a Draper head.
We've tested three Draper heads actually in the last week. Yeah, we've been looking at that. I don't know. We've never had one before there. Pretty cool.
They can do the WAP. They can flex. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, hey, no free like I said, no
This
free
is the
ads.
last show we're bringing the WAP up in.
No free ads, but we tested drapers from 2 different companies, 3 different draper heads, and they are pretty cool.
Cool.
Nice.
They're expensive.
What about touring? So you've got a couple of dates we just dropped, 24th and the 30th heading up. How's the coronavirus hit your gig life?
We've been pretty fortunate compared to other groups. We've stayed pretty busy since the beginning of June. Thankfully, we've had obviously a lot of cancellations, just like everybody else, and summer was just toppled over. We were gonna have a blowout summer, but it just didn't happen. But we're pretty fortunate when one of our friends who's in a band says, you guys played more shows in a weekend than we've played since the beginning of coronavirus. So there's one weekend we did three shows, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that was more than they had gotten to do since the beginning of March. So
Does it have to do with your audience?
yeah, our audience is kind of that nice number where if you're outside, they can spread out. It's not going to be, we're not going to pack or fill a stadium or anything. And if you're inside, there's still room to spread out inside too. I don't know. It's kind of, yeah, it works.
I figured they were just more country folk that said screw coronavirus.
Oh, that
and
too.
decided to
That
come
too,
in.
absolutely. But our crowd size is kind of plays into that well.
So we had Royce on last week.
Mhm.
You know Royce
Oh, yeah.
Jones?
Yep.
Recorded his albums in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. I think that's where. How many albums do you guys have?
With one, kind of technically 2. I did a gospel album on my own that the band didn't really.
Where are you recording that in your basement or?
We
going on
did both those in Boone, Iowa,
Really?
at Forte Studios. Yep.
There's a studio in Boone.
There is a studio in Boone, Iowa.
It's gotta be
What?
not the best thing that's
Yeah.
going for Boone.
Where's that next to the Casey's?
There's a studio in West Ames, Bumblefunk.
Yep.
Well, West
know.
Ames, I get it, but
Eric?
Boone,
Yeah.
obviously it can't be next to the train tracks.
Well, no, this is just like Ames.
It is right next to the train track. Actually, we have to stop recording when a train comes through.
Kind of like us when a motorcycle just decides to lay on from the
Yep.
stoplight all the way down to 210.
Yep, absolutely.
Or Harris's just drove by in their semi. Jake
Yeah.
breaking by. No.
Does he listen?
I doubt it. Maybe.
Really, next to the train track, got to stop when a train goes by.
Yep. Done
Hold
many
on,
times.
hold on. Here's the train.
Recording. It's the train track's about right up to the drum room. So we were recording drums for the first album, and train rolled through, and we had to stop.
That's awesome. So are you streaming?
Yes. Yeah.
You get 0.6 of a penny
Yeah.
for every stream?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Did you hear? I didn't tell you. I told Tanner. So Royce, our last guest, I came and to his website afterwards and bought his CD. So I bought a CD and I thought, I'll put this in my truck. I'd listen to this. Go to
He
throw
signed it, right?
He signed it. Go to throw it in my truck. I don't have a CD player.
Exactly. they're obsolete anymore,
And I'm
man.
like, I know my other truck has a CD player. And so I have this brand new CD sitting up on the top, and I can't even play it. So I
Gonna have
guess
to give it to your wife.
I need an account and an aux cord.
Yeah.
So
I didn't realize.
I was so
they got
disappointed
rid
when I got my truck. Of course, I didn't drive the truck here today. I drove the minivan, but
That's awesome.
The van
When
down
I
by
got-
the deep river.
yeah, when I got my truck, I was like, it doesn't have a CD player. Are you kidding me? I had this whole stack of CDs that I love to listen to, and that's the way of the world now.
The beautiful thing is when we take the bus out, it only has a CD
It
player.
only has a CD
We
player,
can't
that's
play
it.
on the aux, so we have fun thumbing through that big CD case, figuring out
Is
what
the
the next
minivan?
tune
Is that what you
gonna
call the
be.
bus?
No.
his minivan.
That's
That's a
got
pretty
the-
sweet Dodge
that's the-
Caravan.
That's the blue bullet out there.
That's the blue bullet.
Blue bullet. We got the horny toad.
That is
That's
the bus.
Nice. Fits the whole band and all the equipment on it.
It doesn't fit the equipment. You pull the trailer behind
Oh.
the bus, but it's a 1994 Fleetwood American Dream, and it runs
There he
like a
is.
dream. So-
Living
American
the
dream.
American dream.
Yeah.
One thing that happened to this podcast that's super cool is NorthAmericanAg.com. NorthAmericanAg.com selected us to be one of their best of ag podcasts.
Oh wow!
So now if you fly out there, check out their website. They've got some really cool stuff out there. But we're extremely honored to be a part of that. We are joined by the Impact Farming Show, United We Ag, Ag State of Mind, one of Corey's favorites with Jason Meadows.
Yep.
And What Color Is Your Tractor? So I've listened to almost all of those. And the one I haven't yet is this "What color is your tractor" one. So that's next on my to-do list to pick that up. But Chrissy and I have had a lot of interactions. I know she's going to listen to this. So thank you, Chrissy, for putting us out there. NorthAmericanAg.com. A lot of really cool stuff out there. Again, another free ad, but really cool recognition for the podcast to be the best of ag podcast.
That's awesome, you guys. Congratulations. You guys are killing it, by the way.
It's fun to be a part of something, I mean, that we had no idea was going to do what it's doing. I mean,
and it hasn't been us. It's been the listeners. I mean, thank you so much for sharing this. So I think we celebrate.
Yeah, we got
Big Grove Brewery is what we got.
And I know I did a good job. I should pat myself on the back. I say we celebrate with another tune. You guys think you got another one queued up?
Yep, we got another one here.
What are we going to hear?
This is a song that I wrote for my father back in 2018 also. I'm going to give the full intro. Wrote it when I watched him come home from working all day at the office at the bank where he works. And,
I like him already.
Yeah,
damn banks.
Then he put on his work clothes and went right out to the field and continued working through the night. It's called "God Bless the Working Man."
There we go.
Break of dawn, pulling that plow all day long, just turning it over and kicking it up. Took all he had to raise 5 kids, his wife left, but his faith never did, always broke, never catching a break. When them angels swung them pearly gates, God looked down and said, "Come on in, son, we've been waiting." God bless the working man, always giving it all, never giving it up. God bless the working man. God bless his calloused hands and the ground that he walks. Working the factory 25 years, he's worked through blood, sweat and tears, just breaking his back for the big corporate man. Working the late shift, getting up early, starting to wonder if he's even worthy of the afterlife, standing at Jesus' feet. He hasn't been to church since he can't remember when, but he still throws up a prayer every now and then. God bless the working man, always giving it all, never giving it up. God bless the working man, God bless his calloused hands in the ground there he walked. Help him, God bless that working man. Oh.
That
Man,
is
that could be
good.
a Farm for Profit anthem right there.
Should be. Ed
Feel
sings.
free to use it for whatever you
Did
want.
you hear that? Ed sings.
Yeah, Ed sing.
He doesn't
Just
just
a
play.
It doesn't sing. Ed harmonizes. See, that was like.
That was
Well,
singing.
Ed sings lead too. He does a little
No,
bit of
there
lead
you go.
too.
No,
Wow.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant he sounded good.
Oh, gotcha.
Did you tell the other two that you were coming here and ask why they didn't get to come? Or
They
what?
they weren't invited.
Oh.
They make too much noise. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was usually when we do acoustic stuff, we try and limit it to just this and fiddle for simplicity's sake.
Yeah,
So.
that makes sense.
Hey,
You
it
guys
sounds
jive
good to me.
Plus, the other guys are working harder than us, so
Yeah,
they gotta hunker down.
the drummer's from Davenport, so he probably couldn't even made it if he.
Dang, that is a
He's
ways.
actually a salesman at Sinclair Tractor
Yeah.
at the moment,
Oh,
so he's
cool.
holding down the fort there.
So everyone's got jobs. It's not a full-time gig,
No,
Right.
right?
no. We would love for it to be, but that doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do we got here, Tanner? We got a
This is
purplish
the
red.
yeah.
drink.
It poured out into no magenta's pink, isn't it? This is a what the
Purplish
heck?
red.
It's a purplish red.
The can is purple.
The can's purple.
Looks like wine.
Oh, that's a good. There you go. It's darker than water.
Double black berry
Oh, hey, well, blackberry. That would make sense.
sour.
Double blackberry sour. Dave should like this.
I was gonna say it looks fruity.
I like blackberries. I've said in other
Tastes like huckleberries. To tell you the truth.
shows that I'm not a huge fan of sours, but let's give her a try.
You're gonna like it.
I think I'm a fan of sours. I think I'm a fan of sours. I say it every time. Nope, I'm a fan of sours. Send more sours. They're good.
Double
Damn
blackberry fruited sour ale gets its hefty dose. You guessed it, from blackberries. The soft tartness. Oh, that's a very good description. Soft tartness.
Oh my!
It's not a really pucker up sour. The beer sour base complements the sweet blackberries and boysenberries, featuring a beautiful violet hue. That's the color I was looking for. I should have just read the description. This beer bursts with your berry flavor.
I should have bug land on me like in the debate. Where the hell did it go? Hey, guys,
Violet,
you can
everything's
do an
violet.
aronia berry sour. Hit me up
Yes,
next year when I have berries.
Big Grove, Hillable Family Farms, Aronia berries.
And there's a lot of aronia berries in eastern Iowa.
There's
free-
a lot,
no free
there's a lot
ads.
around here.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, this is a very good beer.
Are you putting the guts on them?
Guts.
Yeah, the fish guts. I thought they use for fertilizer.
I did that. Yeah,
I suppose it makes them grow really good.
foliar fed
Fish
the
gut
fish
aronia.
emulsion.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, did that. This year, I fertilized early, and then we got frosted twice, and then the wind blew the rest of the berries off.
About 5 years.
Yeah,
About 5 years before you get a product.
yep. Which I'm not mad about losing our crop this year because no one's paying for them anyway. So
Well, you got the CFAP too. I mean, you're golden now.
So yes, Monday, a week ago, we had our FSA interview with Amanda DeJong. Fantastic information. Farmers.gov. Go out there and get the information for your CFAP 2 payment. Talked to my dad actually on the drive here, and Cherokee County mailed the information to him. It already had the pre-filled acres in there for corn and soybeans because you certified your acres, what you're going to plant this year. And then all he has to do is fill in the livestock portion. So way to go, Cherokee County, Iowa. Hopefully there's more out there. But if you haven't heard about CFAP 2 or you're late to the ball game, get out there, get it done. It's another round of government assistance. Whether we like it or not,
see,
it's available.
I'm so terrible. I'm such a terrible government farmer.
And
Smack
a mic
stand.
user.
So terrible. Dad does a lot of that. I mean, he's got all the records and all that stuff. But I'm just like, why in this day and age are we filling out all these different forms? And it just seems so repetitive with the technology that we have. Like, it should just all be there. But it's not. It's getting there.
Because it creates jobs.
It's run by the government. I don't know. What you
Yeah.
expect.
I don't know what you're
I know.
expecting. Affordable healthcare app that shows
Well, I
down
mean,
in 10
so I-
seconds. You're like, what?
I have a small amount of acres. My dad has a little bit more than me, but he'll spend a day and just filling out forms and making sure this is right and that. And it's like, I can't stand it. I'm like, we got work to do. I'm not mad at him. I know it. I know it takes time, but dang, I'm not a very good government FSA farmer. So if you want me to fill out forms, I'm terrible at it. And I'll be that guy at the last minute running in and
Well, you can
making
sign up.
you mad.
You can sign up for text alerts, so that way you go in there before last minute and don't make them mad.
Okay.
They need to simplify their emails. People don't read that much. So every time I get an email, I open it because I'm like, hey, there's something new here. And then I look, and it's so templated the way it was last time that I just pass over it, thinking it looks like the last one. I'm guessing farmers probably do that too.
All right. We're boring talking about government farming stuff.
We talked a lot about government today.
Mercy.
Where are you guys going? What's the future look like for the band?
Well, we've had several meetings about what the future looks like, because you do kind of have to pick your path at some point. You know, you can't kind of sit on the fence and say that you're going to be a weekend warrior and have a family at home and not completely commit to doing music or doing a full-time job, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever you want to call it, as a farmer, 6 to midnight.
Whenever's
But
needed.
But we hope that the future is music, and we have I don't know if my employer's listening, hopefully not, but the future
me
is
on the open stage.
I think
No,
they
and
understand.
I've had that talk with them too. If the opportunity presents itself, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity to go out and tour and make music and make money while making music. All the advice you ever hear growing up is do something that you love and that you get paid to do. You got it made, and for us that's music. And I think I speak for Ed when I say that too. We have a great time doing it. I don't know how you couldn't. We love making music, and we love writing songs and being out on the road. But
You need to be on TikTok, then you can be in the 615 house.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just takes a little bit of time.
What is that path through Nashville? Is it through another path?
We think with the way the world is today, it's not through Nashville. There's so many tools to be able to get yourself out there like this. Appreciate it.
Time out.
That was a Mustang.
That was our Mustang. That
and
was
there was
not
a
a
nice
motorcycle.
Bronco behind it.
Yeah, but we did get our blow by for the day. Continue.
We don't think it's through Nashville. There's so many tools out there to be able to get yourself in front of thousands of people. Facebook now taking away music. I don't know what that's going to do, but we hope that we don't have to completely relocate to another location to be able to quote unquote make it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for now, Outlaws, October 24th. Prairie Meadows, October 30th.
Yep.
And remind them how they can get a hold of you if they want to book you.
You can email richtonentertainment@gmail.com. That's RICHTON for Richton. And if you just go straight to the website, www.tylerrichton.com, there is a booking tab or a shows tab on there. You can find it. If you know how to navigate a website, it's pretty easy to find. You can go there and submit details for a show. We'll shoot you back a quote, pricing, whatever, and we will get it all figured out and get it on the books.
So we can't just let you off the hook here. Every one of our guests, and Ed knows because he's listened, we want to know the people in your life. Doesn't have to be farmers. The people in your life, the most successful people, what do you think they all have in common? So be thinking about that. We'll kind of wrap some things up here on our side of things, and then we'll close out with that and possibly another song. But the other thing that is bothering me this fall is I feel like every time I go to take a leak, next to the semi, next to the combine, the grain cart, somebody drives by on the road. Like I swear I am in the best position possible to protect myself from the wind, from whatever's going on. And that's when somebody drives by.
You just gotta, you gotta get to the point of just let it go.
Well,
No one can see it, Tanner.
Wow, that was low.
That was
Are you peeing on the shoulder?
No, I'm not peeing on the shoulder.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I get what you. Jesus, man, I'm glad that I'm the one that has the edit button to get that one edited out of there. I didn't. That's just been this fall, but I don't remember it being this bad. All of a sudden, it seems like everybody
does
pops
seem
out
like
of the woodworks. I might be on the podunk.
Mine's more number 2.
Oh, wow.
We've heard your stories. We have heard your stories. All right, boys.
Hey, everybody poops.
That's a book. Yeah, we talked about that too. Yeah. All right, guys. Enough time to think about it.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll just go first because mine's quick and easy. The most successful people in my life that I look up to, they all have the same thing in common, that they've all taken a chance at some point when they knew there was a big risk for failure, but they went for it anyways, and the payoff was good.
Leap of faith.
Leap of faith.
Guts.
I do that all the time, and I always fall.
Just got to go for it at some point.
What do you think, Ed?
I'm going to kind of combine two traits that are kind of related. The first one is the agility to learn new things and then to leverage what you're good at. So successful people that I know in my life, you don't have to be an expert in finance. I know a lot of people that do not like finance, but for you to be a successful farmer or on a successful ag operation or any part of a business or whatever you define as success, if you take something that you don't know a lot about and you can learn enough, to make yourself dangerous in that aspect, then, you can drive yourself farther than where you're at the moment. And with that, it also comes leveraging what you're good at. So, you might need to be multifaceted to learn about something different that you don't necessarily enjoy, but something that's going to benefit you. But on the other hand, if you've got something that you're good at and you enjoy it and you love it and you can do it well, the ability to combine those two things and leverage what you're good at to propel yourself further is what's going to, take you to new heights and enable you to enhance what you could do otherwise.
Fantastic. That's good stuff.
Tell you though, your talk made me think of nothing ventured, nothing gained, just the way Garth Brooks would say it. So just tie back into country music there.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you said about other companies having their own podcast. Don't do that. Leave it up to the people who've already got one out there.
I ain't no skin off our back, but
That's true.
Support local. Get on other people's podcasts and support them.
Get your message out.
There's a lot of organic listeners there.
Yep. And you guys leveraging what we're good at, that's our audience. That's the only reason we've done what we've done so far. So thank you. Thank you an absolute ton. I don't know how else to say that. And I know these other two guys are nodding along right with me. Really appreciate what you do. But I think that about wraps up another awesome Farm for Fun show.
Yeah.
Send us out, Corey.
Yeah. Crack a Big Grove beer, mix a drink. You deserve it.
Ain't it always the same old tune? What she said to break my heart kinda sounds like what she just said to you. Well, buddy, I've been there before. Tell me, did you ever think it was funny when she just couldn't bring herself to pick up the phone? Well, it's a Friday night, you two were supposed to be together, but instead you're sitting at home all alone. it. Yeah, everybody gets a swig. Well, buddy, I've been there before. Now you have too. We both had our turn, and now it's time to let go. But I can tell you, son, she ain't through. You said you. I'm just speaking from experience, like a leaf in the wind. She's a blowing around, and she'll be back again someday. At least we can say we had fun passing around the town bottle of Crown. The town bottle of Crown. Passing the town bottle of
That was great. We just opened up the garage door. We're gonna have some car music. We're gonna drink a couple beers and play us some Charlie. Let's see what you got. Hey, we're still playing on the phone. Tanner, shut that off.
I wake up before.
This is a show bonus here, so let's hear it.
You want to do a little Blossom special to start?
Sure.
All right.
Charlie does this too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Your mic
technically.
on?
Yeah.
Shoot you in the face.
I'll start it off. You kind of follow me there. Yeah. All righty. Little fiddle tune there. Hey, 1, 2. The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind, he's way behind. He was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man sawing on the fiddle, playing it hot. And the devil jumped up on a hickory stump, said, "Boy, let me tell you what. Bet you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you care to take this there, well, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. Bet a fiddle of gold against your soul is think I'm better than you. The boy said, my name's Eddie, Lord, it might be a sin. I'll take your bet, you're gonna regret it, I'm the best there's ever been. Eddie, rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard. Us hell's broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals with hearts. And if you win, you'll get the shiny fiddle made of gold. If you lose, the devil gets your soul. Well, the devil opened up his case, and he said, I'll start this show. And fire blew from them fingertips as he rosined up his bow. Then he pulled that bow across the strings, Lord, it made an evil hiss. Then a band of demons joined in, and it sounded something like this. The devil finished, Eddie said, well, you're pretty good, old son. Sit down in that chair right there, let me show you how it's done. Fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. Devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Ready to die by no child, no. The devil bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beat. And he laid that golden fiddle on the ground at Eddie's feet. And Eddie said, devil, just come on back if you ever want to try again. I done told you once, you son of a bitch, I'm the best there's ever been. He played Fire on the Mountain, run, boys, run. Devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Ready to die by no child, no.
Ooh, 5 guys, 1 concert. 5 guys, 1 concert. Eddie, man, you were working the shit out of that thing. That's good.
You got a rip roll back.
Leave that
No,
out.
don't bleep that out. This is after everyone.
Nobody will listen to it anyway.
Yeah, no one's listening to this.
Thank you.
You bet.
That's good stuff. All right, we're signing off.
Shut her off.